Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Last Jedi Talk. I hope all is well in your life, and I hope, as always, you enjoy. Today is the very first audio episode of Last Jedi Talk. I want to talk about The Last Jedi, and why the fan base seems to be split, if not negative, towards the film, and what that means for the series, the next film's coming out, and of course, what Rian Johnson and his future of the series entitles. I know I'm a little late on the bandwagon for The Last Jedi, but I did want to wait till all the outpour of all the videos related to it were done. And plus, I just did want to wait a little bit for more information to come out so that I could stand out a little bit from the others. Now, if you aren't aware, The Last Jedi was released last month and was critically acclaimed by critics and doing solid at the box office. Not as Force Awakens numbers, but solid. But it seems like for this film, the fans are the polar opposite for what the critics are calling it. Fans are not liking the film and even being scored to the ranks of the prequels. Yikes. I'll give my brief 2 cents this review on it just to get it over with. I personally like The Last Jedi. Do I think there's issues with it? Yes. But I do believe it's still fun, enjoyable, and at least it's better than the prequels. There you go. That's my review. Now, before I continue further, I will warn you, spoilers for The Last Jedi are in this video. So, if you haven't seen it yet, please don't watch this video. Come back when you watched it, and then jump back into it. Or if you just frankly don't care, then proceed. For me and for many other fans, a huge problem that the film had was the villains and what they decided to do with it, because they killed most of them all. Yes, you heard me correctly. They killed most of the villains that were introduced in the last film. Only Kylo and Hux are remaining off the cast, and I was just like, why? Why would you do that? I would have been just fine if just Plasma had died, but Snoke too? Jeez, what a waste. Some of the plot points were a little bit weird as well. Some of the new characters were meh, although I will give The Last Jedi credit. They did have that amazing scene where the ship flew into light speed and it hit Snoke's ship. That will forever live in my mind as one of the fucking coolest moments in history. I can go all day talking about all the Last Jedi problems, but a bunch of other people already did that, and you already probably heard about it as well. But I want to focus on why this film was so divisive from the bunch. It seemed like this film had many things going for it. The director's last film was so critically acclaimed and loved by moviegoers. Fans falling in love with the new characters we saw in The Force Awakens, and as well as bringing back all the old characters we haven't seen in decades. And the main fact this is all part of the Star Wars universe is an understatement. I'll chalk this one up to over-expectation. Fans were expecting something groundbreaking, brand new, and not an Empire Strikes Back remake. Believe me, it wasn't. They wanted Star Wars to go in a brand new direction, and so that the sequel trilogy can fully stand out from the other. The original trilogy was a classic. The prequels were known for, let's just say, not reaching their own expectations, and Rogue One delivered in a fantastic story, a unique story that fans actually wanted answers to for many, many years. The sequel trilogy can now be described by fans as the series with the New Hope remake and the film majority want to be erased from continuity. Now back to The Last Jedi expectations. For me, it's important to keep your expectations in check. Don't overhype one movie because it has to achieve something big and new. For example, Avengers Age of Ultron a few years ago, while it doesn't really fall into the same category Last Jedi had, there was a little bit more expectations going into Avengers Age of Ultron after seeing the Avengers and where Phase 2 at that point has been going for. I do believe Age of Ultron didn't reach those expectations, and many fans kind of downgraded a little bit, though granted, the film also had many other problems. But for that film as well, it did have expectations, and sadly, not all of them were reached. So this could be said the same thing for The Last Jedi. But for in the end, for The Last Jedi, just enjoy what it is. It does continue the story, granted not the way people wanted to after Force Awakens, and it may have been, and maybe the decisions Rian Johnson decided to take with this film will make sense in a couple of years when we see Episode 9. Oh, and by the way, now that I'm ending this talk for Last Jedi, Kylo Ren's motivations and actions were completely fucking stupid. But with The Last Jedi not sitting well with fans, and now the fans are up in torches, it's quite curious how the next Star Wars movie, Solo, will sit in the future. As of course, it does have many expectations, delivering what was Solo doing before A New Hope? Yeah, I know, no one really wanted that story, but hell, popularity reason. But more of the reason why Solo is being now morally close analyzed than before was because, as many of you know, or if you don't know, there has been a lot of behind-the-scenes trouble with the film, changing director, an extended production schedule, multiple reshoots, so many people are believing that this film isn't going to do so well, and even Disney is rumoring to just write it off and just preparing it for failure. According to a rumor, they have no faith in the lead. I mean, You don't even have faith in the character, in the man that you're trusting to lead the film. Now, granted, these are all rumors. Obviously, Disney's never going to confirm these rumors until maybe after the film's release. So sadly, this is a little troubling. But however, I do hope for the best for Solo. I do hope all films work out the best. And I do give a lot of hope to Ron Howard, and he's able to make this a great film. Or at least a good film. And hopefully fans can just keep your expectations in check. Solo isn't going to set the world on fire. It'll probably be a fun ride. And for episode 9, I do say this. J.J. Abrams has a lot on his plate to deal with. And the clock is certainly ticking. Sassy has to deal with Johnson's choices, the sad passing of Carrie Fisher a couple of years ago, and of course, now the entire fan base looking harder at this film for it to be the finale to this new sequel trilogy that so far, a lot of fans are debating its own status. And lastly, coming up is Johnson's original trilogy, coming out in the near future. And that, oh my god, will be judged even harder after Last Jedi. To me, I honestly felt like this was a great move. Disney was already booked Johnson for at least a good 5 more years of his time, making new characters, a new world in Star Wars. But now, it will be interesting to see how he takes from the criticism and the feedback from The Last Jedi and how he's going to maybe use it to mend where he's going with his new trilogy, or maybe he's just going to go full steam ahead on his original plans. And I'm actually interested. I'm curious. We've been seeing the same Skywalker, all the things around it. It will be great to see, no, there are other corners. The Skywalkers don't have to be involved in the story anymore. There can be other stories where, no, the Skywalkers have nothing to do with it. And I'm interested. Sure, this film isn't coming out for maybe 3 years, but I'm excited for it. I'm really excited to see how he's going to craft his corner of the Star Wars universe. Anyway, guys, that's it for Let's Joe Talk. Thank you guys so much for watching. This might be a little bit more of a shorter episode. It's the first audio episode, so I have no idea how long these scripts have to be, but you guys know me. I am not doing this on purpose. It's just like, first audio episode. We're trying to do something new with the season, and I hope you're enjoying it. And as always, guys, please, if you like this video, please like it. Please share it with your friends. We're trying to get more fans involved in here. And also, if you want to stay tuned for more Let's Joe Talk, please subscribe to the channel. Like us on Facebook. Like us on Twitter. We have a Twitch channel now, so please go over there. And as always, I will see you guys. You're not going to hear me snap, but you're going to hear it next week.